Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good Thursday. It's July 15th, 2021. We're going to talk about SPY, the overall market, option plays, credit spreads, naked calls, and stuff like that. Talk about GME, price action, where I see it going. If this is the bottom, this is merely the beginning of the crash. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Jump on our Twitter if you want. Follow us on there at Happy Money YT, and then we also have a Discord. Whoops. There we go. So market today kind of came down a little bit, which is good. It's kind of seems like it's found a top. On the hourly, it's bearish. Daily, it's not really changed momentum yet with that MACD not having crossed over yet. However, we do still have these RSI divergences indicating that this is a top, and I think probably tomorrow or next week we'll get some more violent price action to the downside on the SPY, on the overall market. Tomorrow, yeah, it'll probably be more next week. Tomorrow might be a bounce, or it might sell off more, honestly. I'm not sure about tomorrow, but the daily trend looks like it doesn't want to keep going. This MACD ticking down, and even the RSI also. We got some plays on SPY. I'll tell you about some dailies, some daily options we did, and credit spreads. GameStop, on the other hand, like I said yesterday, 180 might not be the floor. Certainly wasn't. And so we kept kind of coming down, and it still doesn't look very good as far as a reversal or consolidation or a floor. I do kind of expect a bit of a bounce at some point before we consolidate. We're so far from the moving average right now that I imagine we'll probably bounce somewhat back up to this moving average here. But yeah, on the hourly, it kind of looks like it's setting up this floor at like 158, 160, and RSI is kind of indicating that. But if you see, we're not really breaking out past anything yet. So there is one thing also that I had up right at the beginning about a gap fill that I actually didn't even realize was there. But so gap fills are basically when the stock opens or closes higher or lower than when it higher or lower from when it closed. So I'll give you an example. Well, this is an example right here. So you can't look at extended hours, just has to look at normal trading hours, and this would be a gap. If it closed this day here and then opened this day up here, there's a gap. And we've looked for gap fills, and I actually didn't realize there was a gap fill to be filled at 145 at 512. So this was a big gap fill, and so when we were coming down here, that's one of the reasons why I thought we'd probably come down to this 210 initially, just because this was support, previous resistance, as well as this gap that needed to be filled. Well, really with that candle, or no, actually here, because that's where it closed. So filled that gap, and I thought all the gaps were filled. I mean, there's this one up here now, which needs to get filled, and I'm not really concerned with upside ones. I think those all get filled in as we take off. But there's one on 512 right here. It's such a small little gap. And let me go back to it. I'm gonna show you on the hourly, it's easier to see. So if you look real close at 512, look at the last hour there. So this was close on this candle. It closed right here. That's why I actually have this mark. That's not where it actually closed, that's at the top. So it closed, come on. Let me click, weird. There we go. It closed right there at the top of that body. So it closed here, and then it opened up here. So there's this gap right here from 144 up to 147. So if this gap is getting filled, this looks like it would be a time that would fill because of all this downward momentum we have. So potentially our very, very bottom is 144, 145 area. Once that gets filled, I don't think we'll necessarily go any lower. And that could happen tomorrow. that gap fill. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. We'll see how the last half hour happens here with GameStop. If we have just a mega rally, then I would say this was a floor, and we're going to start consolidating here and not fill that gap. But if it doesn't do much, then yeah, I think tomorrow will probably continue to be red, even though we're getting on the RSI. This is the craziest thing, is just how low this RSI is. It's 32 on the daily now. So it's so over. I mean, it's not in like technically oversold territory, but for a daily chart, as well as where GME has been relatively, it's very oversold. It hasn't been at 32 for a long time. Like I said in the last video, it's been back here when it was trading at $2.50 a share. So basically that's showing you good value, and it's killing options premiums on the call side, which is also good. So it might have one more day where it really dips down into this oversold area, and that could be tomorrow, and that could be that 144 floor before it bounces. And then the bounce will probably just be up to kind of the moving average, which at that point will probably be like 175, 180. And then it will probably consolidate in that range before it runs again. There's other kind of theories and research behind next week, what could go on, as well as if we're just looking at TA. I mean, this needs some time kind of to consolidate before it really takes off, in my opinion. Typically it doesn't just come down and then go straight back up. It consolidates after it's fallen, and this has fallen. So if we're thinking of that, and then if we're just looking, I mean, simply at the chart, like I said before, we had this big red day here, big red day here. This was 2 months from this big red day. So I mean, these were both failed deliver covers, I believe. Big red day, and then this was 2 months until like here, right here, where it started to kind of grind up basically. So that was 15. This was 15 right here. So we're just looking at that, and if we're kind of repeating that, not saying we will, but if that is happening, so far it looks like it is, but that can change. That'd put us kind of right here. Let's see, it's the 10th. That'd put us like here, 10th or so. This really, I mean, it started kind of on the 15th. It kind of changed patterns to bullish, kind of changed the trend. Didn't really take off though until, well, I don't know, this is a pretty good day. So we're looking at that. I would say strictly on just the charts, I'd say not till August 10th. But given this isn't normal chart analysis, because typically you're not trading stocks based on failed delivers when they have to cover. That's just the jacked up things we have to do because the stock is, and the stock market's so manipulated. Typically we're trading it from momentum and simple stuff like that. But without that being said, without the TA, so we have the gap to fill. The failed delivers report came out today, and this is kind of the hype for next week. The numbers were crazy. Let me see, I think I put it on here too. Deliver second half of June. The numbers were absolutely crazy. So second half failed delivered was just released. This 18th of June was 500,000 failed delivers. And then this 29th of June was 346,000. Reading through the comments really is where I was really learned about what was going on and kind of how that was crazy. So previous max resistance, or our previous our max since was January was 298,000 on February 26th, with very few dates even coming close. We only had a handful over 100,000 even. So that's pretty crazy. If they are going to cover, and they have to cover, it should be coming up. This was by Ping Pang, and this post was by Singer, Suspicious Singer. Hasn't seen over 300,000 failed delivers on a single day since January 27th. So we'll see. This isn't ETFs. This is just GME's shares, I believe. And if you're counting 35, that's what this one is. If you're counting 35 days from those crazy FTDs, 18th of June. This is saying calendar days. I kind of go back and forth. I thought for some reason it was trading days, not calendar days. But if it is calendar days, 35, I guess, is the 23rd, which is next Friday. So there is that, and that could coincide with the chart. If tomorrow we hit 145, epic bounce from that, and then consolidate for the beginning of next week till maybe Wednesday, Thursday, and then are ready to rally. And this can turn around quicker than what typically stocks do, and it all brings me back to this time right here. This was such an unusual event. I was able to make a lot on this event. Flat day is consolidating here in February, and then this big, it's kind of like the MACD. The MACD was still bearish. That's what was unusual about it. It had been consolidating flat, but it hadn't shown any sign of really reversal, just slowly kind of dying. And then this big green volume day, and then just kind of kept going, and then it turned over the MACD, the momentum, everything shifted so quickly. So we could see something like that, and maybe next week some of these kind of low volume consolidation days. We'll see. All this being said, new regulations, new rules. Supposedly not supposed to be able to roll over the failed delivers, this and that. And now shares that are shorted are earmarked. So yeah, in my mind, that means that this potentially could be the last time, and they won't be able to roll them back over. So we'll see. I put out actually, yeah, I put this out on our Discord and I tagged everyone, basically resetting FTDs, what to look for the next few days. This was by Laura Good, and I think this is a good point. We started spotting these over the last couple of days. On Monday, around 5,000 calls were created and exercised immediately, and another load have been spotted today at the 130 and 140 price mark. If you see in the money calls being created and exercised, try to screenshot the evidence. The SEC risk alert I linked above has a tip line. So yeah, you can screen record if you're seeing that happening. Basically, the open interest on it, and then being exercised, I guess, would just go away. That's how you know it. I'm not exactly sure how you'd see that, but if you do, yeah, maybe you'd get a, I don't know, whistleblower or something award. But that's kind of what we're looking for, I think, to see if those are getting kicked down the road, those failed delivers. But yeah, so far, I mean, this RSI is nice and low, but it's not looking strong as a floor. So I think we'll probably get a little more into oversold territory on the RSI. Let me show you the plays we did today. Did a few plays. Here we go. Sold the close. I don't even know. Okay, so my call credit spread on AMC I closed. AMC looked like it was bouncing kind of before GME, because it had more of a sell-off before GME did, and it had to be below 35 by tomorrow. And I don't think trend is changing. I think it'll probably bounce up to this kind of moving average and then keep coming down, but I didn't want to risk it. It was too close, so I made most of the profit on that AMC call credit spread. I bought shares of TCAT. TCAT's in a nice spot. I thought about just kind of day trading, but kind of looking at TCAT. Well, it's down more now, but this I think is good exposure to the NFT space. It has had rallying for sure. A lot of volume today. We'll see. Really low on the RSI, and hasn't really set up a floor too much. But the fact that we have a lot of volume and it's a green day on the hourly, it's crossed over on the MACD. We'll see. Yesterday was just totally flat. So I picked up shares of TCAT. I was wondering if this could also be related to GameStop's token coming out, or it's what was it? It was a teaser token. We shared that. So basically, I think they're just testing the token, but it's live already. And yeah, I put that on our Discord also. But I was wondering if this was rallying because of that for any reason, but I didn't see anything. I was just kind of guessing. Anyways, TCAT, I closed out the, let's see, some of the Peloton hasn't finished closing them. So I just closed these out for minimum. So just 1 cent. I've got 9 left, so it'll be $9 once that closes out. That's a call credit spread on Peloton. Pretty much max gain on that, which is nice. And then also closed the Roblox. Roblox one still isn't closed, this call credit spread, but I have a limit order for 1 cent for 21 contracts, which is $21. So that'll be close to max gain. Both those were bearish plays, if you remember, and yeah, it worked out. Credit spreads, for some reason they work better for me than pretty much anything else, and that's because you're selling the premium, so you don't need volatility for it to really make a lot of money. I did get some Microsoft puts expiring tomorrow. Let me go back to the history. So Microsoft puts expiring tomorrow. I opened up some expiring next Friday also. One's expiring tomorrow or teetering in the money. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, so I sold covered calls briefly on GME and then I bought them back. I got scared. I said, it's at the very bottom. I don't want to sell covered calls here. Wait. About to open. I bought more SPXS calls for August. Let's see. These right here. So these other ones are expiring tomorrow. These 32 calls. About $35 calls for August. XPS is a triple leveraged short on the SPY, the SP 500, I believe. And then I actually have an order out right now for VIX calls. Not sure if this will get filled or not. I've been kind of just wanting it to work. These are I have 30 of these for 75 strike. So I can show you it's the August 21st, the monthly one. I picked this strike really because of the spread. That's kind of what I do. If I don't really have a specific target I want, I'll just look for where the spread is on the ask. So 35, 30. This was the same, 75 is the same as the 80, so I figured I could get a little better deal and get 75 for 25 cents instead of 80 for 25 cents. But they're making me pay the full 25, trying to get it for 22. So we'll see who wins that battle. Let's see, what else did we do? Tesla, open up a call credit spread on Tesla. I was a little impatient on it, so it's down a little bit. Let's see, it's down 20%, but there's pretty wide spread on that, so it's probably not really down 20%. A little impatient on it. I opened it up basically right at the very bottom. It's a bearish play. It's a 640, 642.5. So basically Tesla has to close below 640 by next Friday. It's not for this Friday. I gave myself some time on that. I don't know, kind of a double top. MACD's crossed over. We've got red under the 9 moving average. 3 red daily candles, 3 crows or whatever, 3 black crows. I can't remember what it's called, but it's not a great setup for a play, but I don't know. I think it'll, just based on the indicators, it'll be fine. It'll work out. And lovely SPY. So we'll see what happens with SPY. GME history, I think that's all the plays we did today. Kind of a lot. Open market gain. Still have this Viacom play that we legged into. This Peloton one closing. BAC. I mean, I could close like average or close half of these BAC puts. Microsoft put. Tesla. Yeah. A lot of stuff's down. So look at this, guys. We're down 40K on our GME position. How does that make you feel? Look at that. Ugh. 40K down on this thing. That's what happens when you get a lot of money and you get excited and just start not showing restraint. I saw it here. This is when we started selling puts. I'm like, this isn't a floor, but I don't care. I want to sell puts. I want this premium. It just keeps going down. Like, I'm going to sell more. I'm going to sell more. It's okay. It'll come back. I kind of missed this cycle though of collecting premium, selling calls on it, which is kind of annoying. So I'll roll over my puts that are sold once we're bullish, and I will roll them up to higher strikes and gain that premium back. And then if we just have another cycle like this, I'll try and sell covered calls near the top and go from there. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Tomorrow could be big one way or the other. Tomorrow might be the dip down to 145 and then an epic bounce, or I mean, it'll probably bounce. In fact, this bounce right here this morning was quite epic because we opened up so low and it just didn't want it. So even in that little time frame, you could day trade options and scalp them, just catching these epic bounces when the RSI is just way oversold. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.